What bloody disaster. There we go. Mic's on now. Just talking to myself. Right, just do that again. Evening guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Cheers for coming back and watching another one with the sound on. Right, so what was I saying? I was saying that I've got a couple of vintage items, like vintage items so good that when I found them, it was like you had to buy them. I couldn't put them back. I saw them and I was like, oh my God, those are absolutely killer pieces. I've not bought anything for quite a long time, but as I say, like I could not have left without these items. Last weekend we went to a kilo sale and I was expecting big things from the kilo sale. I've seen them online, they absolutely look amazing. They look really cool. This is probably the worst kilo sale in the world. I was looking through, there's like TOPMAN there, and I'm like, surely this is like a vintage kilo sale, what is going on? There was a few pairs of Levi's, but it was very small. I was expecting like this huge room, piles of clothes, sifting through everything, finding some good stuff. There was nothing at all. That was in Glasgow. But we had a plan. We were like, look, if the kilo sale doesn't come up, we'll go across to Edinburgh, and Edinburgh is the best for vintage stores. It's got some awesome vintage stores. Armstrong's, they've got like 3 or 4 little stores in the city, and you always get something in there. And I'm like, right, okay, let's go and have a look. So we had a few cans on the train, had a few drinks in Edinburgh, sort of made a day of it, went for a nice pub meal, and then we went vintage shopping. And literally the vintage, we missed it in the morning, but it was there, it came up in the afternoon. I've got some awesome pieces. That's what I wanted to speak to you about tonight. Hopefully there'll be a bit of a blog, some photographs. Still not done the photographs, but that's the way I roll. So hopefully there'll be some good ones, but I just wanted to describe the clothes because vintage is like it's such an individual look. So it's like, instead of just going, I mean, I love the high street as well, don't get me wrong, like certain shops in the high street, you know, certain brands, I'll keep going back to them all the time, but it's so much individual. Like when you shop vintage, so much better shopping vintage because it looks so individual. That's what I was trying to say. But basically, it's just like when you've got a one-off item, or like an item where they will have made a few back in the day, but all those items have either been lost, thrown away, changed, like literally anything could have happened to them over the years. And then you find it in the vintage shop, and then you'll wear it, and you'll be like the only one you see out, say in a bar. If you're out walking through town, like you will be the only one wearing that jacket because it's so individual. It's like you pick it because it's so you. It's like it's got the, you know, like the design. That's what I try to channel. Like my big designers, like they're big expensive designers, I always try and find vintage or pieces that sort of reflect them. Or obviously the vintage, they're like previous. What am I talking about? I don't know. I'll just show you the vintage stuff and then we'll all go from there. First jacket, this one. I haven't got any space to hang it behind me, but just wait for it. It's absolutely bloody awesome. It's very Western, it's very cool. It's a brown suede. It's got this like brown leather sort of like tie-in section at the back. All the panels and sort of all the angles on this jacket are amazing. It's got this huge pointed elongated collar which is just full on 70s. This was made in England, made in London, and I've got another jacket which happens to be made in England as well. So they're like British pieces, which just makes it so cool. I would wonder like who actually initially wore this, like when they were shopping, say if it was on Carnaby Street, say if it was in London, and who bought it first, because it will have been like perfect. And I mean, this jacket is utterly unbelievable, especially with the suede. Normally you get like a bit of like, say if someone wore it in the rain, you'll get a wet mark, or you'll get like a bit of oil or just general suede damage. This jacket is absolutely pristine. It's got a really cool zipper up the front there, which is just a little bit different to these with these jackets, and it's got 2 awesome little hand warming pockets with a little leather trim and outline to them, quite big pockets as well. But literally I just saw this and I was like, well, saying that, did I? No, I didn't actually see this one, I saw the other one. So I was busy trying on this killer green one, which I'm happen to be wearing today when I pop out to see a mate for a few pints. I'm going to whack it on. It's the first time I've worn it out, so I can't wait for that. But yeah, I was busy trying on this other jacket, and Louisa was like still rummaging through, and she was like, oh my God, I found this. And I looked around and I was like, shit, I won't be able to put that back, like I will have to buy it. But literally, I think it was 28 quid, 28 pounds for something that looks this cool. So literally it looks absolutely awesome. Like the paneling, the fit, the sort of like the tailor-made like effect it gives you, like it feels like it's been made for me. It's mad. But look at that triangular back collar, absolutely amazing. Again, it's got the triangle pointed cuffs, little leather sections to the sleeves. So it's fully suede and leather like sort of jacket with a zip and just nice little detail, and the detail and the stitching, everything about this jacket is super cool. It's made by David Conrad, made in England. So I don't know who David Conrad is, but yeah, it's made by him. And inside it's not lined, it's just got your sort of like, you know, your pocket outlines and your suede, how the jacket's made, but it's just super cool. It looks bloody amazing. It's brown, it's 70s, it's just like, it's got everything a 70s jacket needs to look fucking cool, and this jacket definitely does it. Personally, I'm looking at this outfit now and I'm like, should I wear this one? I've got like brown boots on as well, brown western style boots, western belt, and I'm like, should I just wear this today instead? I don't know, I'll figure it out, but I think it's gonna rain, so that's why the old thinking was with the leather jacket, you can't wear suede in the rain. But yeah, absolutely killer individual piece of vintage for £28. Like £28, if I saw that in like a designer shop or like, you know, like somewhere in London, I'd be like, right, okay, that's definitely like a couple of hundred. 28, so it's absolutely mad. Sadly, I ain't gonna sell this one. We actually went with the sort of mindset of like, oh, we get a couple of things, like we'll sell them, blah blah blah. It's never gonna happen. Like, I could never part with this. It's just a super cool bloody jacket and it looks amazing, it looks killer. So yeah, that's my first little vintage buy. I'll swap the hangers and stay tuned for the second. He's back and it's on the hanger. So this is the initial jacket I found when I was trying it on when Louisa found the other one. And literally this jacket is super cool. This is the jacket I think I want to wear today because the weather's a little bit showery outside. So I think this leather, this is the first sort of bomber jacket, sort of like jock jacket I've had. It reminds me of a jock American jacket just because of the elasticated sort of, you know, cuffs and hemline to the jacket. And normally I absolutely detest and hate and try and stay away from these like weird sort of like jackets. I never sort of liked them. I've never liked them in the past. I've never liked this sort of, you know, like cotton elastic sort of brings the waist in, brings the cuffs in type of thing, and the neckline. But literally I saw this in this colour and I'm just like, right, I'm definitely getting it. Another one, I think it was £25, £25, full leather jacket, but I think it's the colour that got me. So the colour, I was thinking someone's playing guitar, that guitar's just been hit. So basically the colour is what sold it for me. That colour, that deep olive green, it's just such a bloody nice colour. Again, the fit and the cut and just the whole style of this bomber is absolutely killer. It says it's made by, is it Brogue London. It's got a nice little leather patch stitched in the back, then a nice little, you know, hanger section to it as well. YKK zip. And it's sort of like got a green sort of blackness to it as well. But yeah, I just love the shine, I love the green, I love the colour. The colour is the best thing about this jacket. It's absolutely amazing. It's got, again, two big, I've got a mask in the pocket, I'm wearing it out, that's it. It's got two big hand-warm pockets in there, so you've got somewhere to put your hands. I love when you're walking down the street, don't really want to, like, if you're not carrying anything, I always like to do something with my hands. Not always, but like sometimes I like to put them somewhere, just to like, alright, I'll put them there. Hand-warm pockets, it's always looking good, it's always looking cool. But yeah, I love this jacket so much. And just the lines, the details, it's got that cracked effect on the leather as well, so it's not like, obviously it's not perfectly smooth, it's not brand new. It's got a bit of age to it again. I'm probably going to say it's like late 70s, this piece, sort of maybe early 80s. But yeah, it's killer. It's got that vintage smell, so is the other jacket, but hopefully when it's in the wardrobe, it'll soon lose that with a little bit of aftershave, you know, a nights out. Something like that, so it'll be pretty cool. But yeah, I love this jacket, it just fits me. It's a little on the small side if I am being honest, but yeah, it just fits, it's perfect, it's killer, and I absolutely adore it. Hopefully there'll be some photographs across on my blog of me wearing it and you can check out what it's like. But again, man, if you don't shop vintage, you need to shop vintage so much, because you're getting these pieces for a really good price, and they just look so cool. Next one, and it's got a bit of a story. You might have seen it on Instagram, but I've chosen the one no one actually liked. Let's see. Might be a shock to some people out there, but I went for this little guy. So I posted a little Instagram story because I had these two killer shirts. Well, they looked killer. This one is actually killer. But the other one, I don't know if you might have seen it on my Instagram. I did a little poll. I was like, should I take the brown one or the black one? The black was like it wasn't a satin. It was more of a really cheap sort of like high gloss material. Yes, it looked amazing. It had the fringing. It had like the Western inspired like triangular collar line. It looked really, really cool, but the quality wasn't there, so it looked super cool on camera, and everyone was like, yeah, get the black one. I was like, I do like this one as well. And I just went for more of a, you know, I thought this and that, the jacket I've just shown you, the first one, that suede, I just thought it would be a perfect combination. So I actually went for the second option, the brown one, and I just think it is very cool. I love the horseshoes, I love the Western, again, Western inspired, you know, like cowboy-esque nod, which it has. But the other one was dead nice, don't get me wrong, but the material wasn't there. It had a few little marks on it. You didn't see those on the camera. But yeah, thanks if you voted, but I didn't go with the majority. I went for the little brown number, and I think it is pretty bloody cool. Again, it just fits, really, really just fits. I don't think I'd be able to stretch up high in the shirt, but if I'm just standing still, or if I'm just chilling at a bar with a beer, the old perfect combination for me, I think the shirt will look super, super cool. So it's got this like old sort of style rope, and then it's got the motif of the horseshoes, and that is like completely all over the shirt. It's got these big sort of like big 70s, little bit like sort of larger than normal buttons down the the button up section to the shirt, and it's got again these big pointed collar line to it. It is, what is it? It's like quite a weird material. It's like a viscose. Alright, it's okay. So it's a viscose poly something mix. But yeah, viscose, really, really cool. Again, it's like got a very, very 70s-esque label in the back. And this is from Quella. It's actually a German make shirt. It says made in Germany on it. But yeah, nevertheless, I love it. I think it's going to go perfectly with a brown suede, or even a brown suede I've got in the wardrobe. More of a modern suede jacket. But I just love the brown. I don't think I own any brown shirts. So this is the old first brown shirt, and I just think it looks super cool. It's got those big sort of white buttons on the cuffs there as well. And I just love the motif, I love the pattern of it, and I just think it's just a nice little vintage shirt you don't see that often. Again, it was £20, so it was like, how could I not get that? But yeah, I had an absolutely awesome look around Edinburgh. I absolutely love Edinburgh. It's only a short distance away from Glasgow on the train. I think it's like, it's pretty cheap as well, so it's always good to go, and especially when there's some killer vintage shops to go and look around as well. But yeah, it's been alright. And then my week, I did my little flat video. I don't know if you've seen that across on my Instagram, but it's worth checking out. So I did like the flat in the day and then the flat in the night, and it was quite cool because we just love just chilling in the front room. That's what the film was about, and it was just like music on. That's what we normally do. A couple of glasses of wine, a few olives, disco balls on, and it was just a little look about where I sort of film this. This is pretty much the room I film all my YouTubes in as well. But yeah, that was cool. So I've been up to that. I've been sort of back and forward with a couple of emails that if they do come off, I've got a job, yes. And if they do come off, like some cool things will be happening in the pipeline. But I'm just like, I've learnt by, even if you get an email and even if you think you're going to get the job, you're not going to get the job until you're physically getting paid for the job. So anything could happen, but yeah, I'm staying positive, which is pretty good. And yeah, just had quite a decent week in Glasgow. It's been a thunderstorm. We got a thunderstorm the other day. Absolutely love a thunderstorm. So that was pretty good. And other than that, today, a few pints in town, meeting a mate I've not seen in a long time back in Newcastle, and then hopefully gonna go home sometimes next week. So that's pretty much me, and I'm just fingers crossed for all these little emails, and hopefully they'll pay off. But yeah, hopefully you guys are good too. that's the old chat, that's the old catch up. Those are my vintage clothes, those are my little bargains I've been lucky enough to find. And as always, there'll be a blog across on there tonight with some pictures, a little bit more info, you know, classic. Have a nice little read. It's a Sunday thing, you know what I mean? Sunday/Monday. Don't even know how I want to post it. Don't know if I have enough time. But yeah, so hopefully there'll be something on for you guys tonight as well. Cheers again for watching. If you've not subscribed, if you like sort of seeing some vintage, if you like talking about a couple of like, you know, rock and roll brands, that sort of like Western inspired look, blah blah blah, that's what I'm all about. So you can hit subscribe, that'd be absolutely great. And if you like this video, you know what I do. Cheers guys, and I'll see you hopefully soon for another video. Cheers.